Ladies and gentlemen, this is a story that came out on ABC News. They did a recent poll, and this is dated May 8th, 2018. Opioid addiction in US, 7 in 10 say it's a very serious problem, CBS News poll. So when you go down here, they said 71% of Americans say the opioid addiction is a very serious problem in the country. Most feel the federal government should be doing more. Now, they've already poured a ton of money, billions, over the last 20 years, a trillion, into this addiction, and these folks are still saying more needs to be done. Interesting. The only money they poured into the crack epidemic was for more prisons. Majorities across political line and age and income levels, 71% called the issue very seriously. And then you can see right here on the chart, somewhat serious, 20%, and 7% said it's not serious at all. That's really interesting. Many Americans have been touched by the issue personally. More than 4 in 10, 45%, say they personally know someone who has suffered from opioid addiction, including 1 in 5 who said the person is in their immediate family. The opioid crisis appears to be hitting white, rural America hard. More whites, 48%, than blacks, 34%, say they know someone who has suffered from opioid addiction. In rural Americans, 52% are also more likely to know someone that have an opioid addiction. 38% in the cities and 45% in the suburbs know someone who has suffered. When Americans are asked who they blame the most for the opioid addiction problem, listen to this. People who abuse pain medication tops the list at 28%. So they believe most of the blame should go on the addict. But you see how the media spins this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. They put the blame on the pharmaceutical company, but they won't blame the addict. They gave the addict amnesty. But according to this poll, people believe the biggest bulk of the blame should be on the addict. Interesting, huh? Followed by pharmaceutical companies who make and sell the pain medication. They ranked at 23%. Doctors who prescribe the medication, 19%. Dealers and gangs who bring drugs into the country, 16%. So the dealers actually rank at the very bottom. A large majority of Americans, 8 in 10, say the federal government should be doing more to address the opioid plague. This view extends across partisan lines. So this poll was taken between May 3rd and the 6th. Among a random sample, 1,101 adults nationwide. Data collection was conducted on behalf of ABC News by SSRS of Glen Mills, Pennsylvania. Phone numbers were dialed from samples of both standard landline and cell phones. The poll employed a random digit dial methodology. For the landline samples, a respondent was randomly selected from all adults in the household. For the cell phone samples, they pretty much went by whoever answered the phone. That's where they got the samples from. This interview was conducted in both English and Spanish by live interviewers. Okay, so the data have been weighed to reflect U.S. Census figures on demographic variables. The error due to sampling for results based on the entire sample could be plus or minus 3% points. The error for subgroups may be higher and is available by request. The margin of error includes the effects of standard weighing procedures, which enlarge sampling error slightly. This poll release conforms to the standard of disclosure of the National Council on Public Polls. Okay, so that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm just shocked that there are some people that think this is really not serious. But the other thing that surprised me are the people that put the blame on the addict for their addiction. But we know that's not the case as far as the media is concerned. But please tell me what you think about this recent poll from ABC News. Please leave your comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. If you have an Android device, please get my app. And I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.